you, Enrique. Good morning, heart and soul. You know, our theme continues to be an adventure in faith. And this year it's from the inside out. And what I want you to know is that we are literally on an adventure in faith. For this summer, especially, that I want to call to your attention in two ways. One, we have summer school. And there's not been a summer that we've missed. Our first one was in 2010, and every summer we've had one. But since COVID, as we began sheltering in place, they have been virtual. So this summer, for the first time since 2019, we've invited folks to be in the room. Now, this is an adventure in an adventure in faith, because it's gotten good to y'all to be home. I'm not talking to y'all in the room, except though you know who you are. But for y'all at home, and out to brunch and such, y'all know it's gotten good for you to do it in your own time. Now, summer school requires that it be real time, meaning that you can do it online, but we've heard folks say they'd like to gather. They like being in community and being together, and so we're offering it hybrid. Here's the thing that is really the adventure in faith part of this. It will require that we have about 5 or 6 people staffing in order to have a hybrid setup. So please come, because we need a bunch of folks in the room to make it worthwhile for the folks who are coming a distance to make sure that our sound deck is staffed and that we have all of the pieces we need. So this is my special plea to say, come be with us so we can all have this sense of community. I know some of y'all cannot be here on a Wednesday night, and that's why it's also virtual. If you can be here, please be here. Now clear? Thank you so very much. The other piece that is also this adventure in faith is, we know, because we do it every summer, we take the summer off for Youth and Family Village. It is a lovely plan. It gives the teaching staff an opportunity to begin to build for the next year, all of that. What it doesn't do, though, is keep the youngsters in continuous learning. It does not keep them active in principle, in ensuring that they're grounded in that way. So this summer, we have, right after this, I'm gonna ask them to play a little intro video so you'll have an opportunity to meet the folks who are facilitating it. This summer, with the intention of establishing a continuity of learning, of focus on principles and creativity, just to keep all of that going. Now, we have the curriculum in place, we have the leadership in place. What we want to make certain of, once again, is that there are youngsters in the room. So it happens simultaneous to our service. So every Sunday, it's for 7 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks. It's begins next Sunday. And it goes through August 23rd. So that's either 7 or 8 Sundays. So it's a good continuity. It's some consistency for young minds. Also, there's an opportunity for adults who like working with youngsters. Come help out as well. So I'm going to leave you with this video, after which we are going to be blessed by Karen Smith and Enrique Ramos. Thank you.
What if this summer your young person gained more confidence, more creativity, and a deeper sense of who they are? That's the invitation of Summer Sundays, Heart and Soul's Youth and Family Village program, running every Sunday from July 12th through August 23rd. Let's hear a few words from our illustrious facilitators.
Hello, Heart and Soul. My name is Dr. Richard Pugh. For the past 22 years, I've been a classroom teacher. And prior to that, I was a Boy Scout leader. I was a summer camp counselor in my youth. So most of my life I've been involved with youth, either mentoring, teaching, volunteering in some capacity. I discovered this desire to work with youth. I've also felt it somewhat of an obligation to get back to my community. So, and a desire to give back with love and joy to my community, to enrich it and enhance the learning of his children. The other thing, I guess, what I hope to bring to the Youth and Family Village this summer is joy, compassion, love. Yeah, I look to bring those qualities to the Youth and Family Village. I also would like to create an environment where young people can connect with their true selves, their spiritual selves, and develop their self-esteem and tap into their creativity, their joy for learning. All those things I hope to bring and much more.
Hi, my name is Brett Sims, and I'm an artist and an educator, originally from Oakland, California. And why I am choosing to work with Youth Family Village this summer is because I grew up in a household with parents who didn't understand or teach me self-love. In fact, they very much preached the opposite of that. And it took me a very long time to come into my own awareness of self-love. And I always have wondered how different our world, how different my life would have been if self-love was taught to me at, say, 4 or 5, or if it was taught in school. And so I believe that self-love and art are transformative and a form of divine protection in our quickly shifting world. My mission is to heal through mindful artistry, and to really bring the magic of self-love to kids. I believe that self-love heals and art saves lives. So I can't wait to bring my creative mindfulness lessons to Youth Family Ministry this summer. See you soon.
What a blessing! Imagine your young person carrying a little more confidence and a little more self-love into everything they do. That starts this summer. To sign up now, just scan the QR code on your screen and reserve their spot in Youth and Family Village Summer Sundays.
Good morning, family. I just want to say in these times, I have to remember that I walk in the love of God, because sometimes. There is a power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite one love. There can only be God's love. Oh yes, I know that I walk. Oh yes, I walk in the love of God. There is a wisdom, a knowing, a loving, and a truth. Whatever you need to know will come in God's way for you. Just say, until it shows, I will pray, and I won't move on till I know, oh, that I walk in the love of God. For the power and the glory and the love of God is everywhere. I can see it, it's everywhere. I can feel it everywhere. And I know in my heart, for the power and the glory and the love of God is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And I know in my heart, yes, I walk in the love power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite. One love, there can only be God's love. Oh yes, I know that I walk. Oh yes, I walk in the love of God. I walk in the love of God. Yes, I walk in the love of God. In the love of God. And so it is.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Enrique. Thank you. Yes, I walk in the love of God. Yes. Oh, how good and very good it is to know that. Let's say that together. Yes, I walk in the love of God. Yes. Yes, indeed. So we have what? 179 days left in this year. Some of us affirmed on January 1st that we were transforming our lives so that we would live more truly as who and how we want to be. Yes? And on January 1st, of course, we had 365 days. Today, though, we have 179 days. And although that's quite a bit of difference, it's never too late. Start beginning today to choose exactly how you intend to be, what you intend to do, and what you intend to have. And then keep your attention on that intention. So look, my topic today, I think, is beyond a promise, a promise for freedom. And it's where I want to play is rewiring the mind and liberating the soul. Ernest Holmes says freedom is the birthright of every living soul. He's reminding us that freedom is not anything that any of us earn, that the call is really to remember that you're free. We are bound, he also wrote, we are bound only by the chains we ourselves have forged. Now that's both the good news and for some perceive it as the bad news. What? But the good news is if you did it, you can undo it and you can redo it. You can call for a reset around that, yes? The chains that he's talking about are invisible chains. There are thoughts, there are beliefs, there are habits. It also includes our conditioning. Does that make sense? All right. So I want to draw from Brianna Wiest in our daily read, The Pivot here. She is saying here, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to highlight what I have bolded. The bold emphasis is mine. Your brain works against you in ways you don't even realize. Okay, some of y'all know this. I see heads nodding. Yes, you already know that often you're at odds. She says your growth is the product of witnessing those impulses and choosing otherwise again and again until it is instinctive, until it is rewired. She's talking about this whole idea of moving from a place of that is just comfortable and in fact no longer aligning with or being drawn to what is comfortable, and instead what is infinitely beautiful, what is really our heart's desire. Yes? So she says when we hang out in the comfort of it all, the familiar is the real translation there. She says we miss out on the infinitely beautiful, what exists beyond where limits appear to be. And this comfort zone is a limit. It's where we have kind of, I think in truth, I feel like sometimes my comfort zone is where I kind of squeezed myself into a way of being. Because by the time I come to myself, I've outgrown it. And I realize that what started as a comfort zone, a place where I felt safe, here's the thing, that our brains have evolved primarily for survival. What we are, so it's not set up around happiness or enlightenment or abundance, it's set up for survival. So rather than, often our brain is asking the question, are we safe? Check to see if we're safe, because if not, we get ready to shut this down. All this new stuff, because we don't know where it's going to lead. What is around the corner? And so if you don't feel safe, we're about to shut this down. We'll get you safe, get you right back over here into this comfort zone. Is this making sense? So what we want to retrain our brain for is to ask, am I fulfilled? Let's say that aloud. Am I fulfilled? That's the question. Am I fulfilled? And we want to, now your brain doesn't have the answer for you, but it's going to watch what you gravitate to. Are you gravitating to safety? Because it's going to help replicate that. It's going to reinforce that what you did to feel safe, let's keep doing that. Let's make that even more familiar. But this fulfillment, if you're not feeling fulfilled now, guess what? I mean, let's just lay this out. Let's play with it. If you're not feeling fulfilled right now, in order to feel fulfilled, you will need to change something. And some of us are going to have to change pretty much everything. Have I gone too far? Okay, so some of us are going to have to really, I just want to keep it real, yes? So some of us are really going to have to, it's not going to be a little shift. It's going to be a show enough change. Well, look, your brain, you're going to have to get your brain, your heart, your feelings, your mental, emotional, your spiritual self ready for that. Because it's not like we haven't had access to it all along. We have been declining it. Oh. We're on an adventure in faith. What makes it an adventure in faith is that we're doing something different. Breathe. We're doing something more. We're thinking bigger. We're thinking beyond the limits that we had held. Is this making sense? Okay. See, yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Somebody just said, ouch. Well, the thing I want to share is that our brain prefers pain over unknown possibility. This is why we stay, can I go there? In relationships that we know are not healthy and right and good. Because the familiarity takes precedent. I'd rather it feel familiar. There's an axiom like Y'all don't know nothing about being a lifeline. It's like the old something, the known something is better than the unknown. The known devil is better than the what? Right. It's almost like your fear, your known fear, is better than your highest vision, to translate it for our purposes. Because at least, sometimes we're left to say, and thank you, it takes a village. Sometimes we really can hear ourselves say, but this I know. You know, I can deal with this. Today is about stepping beyond that, knowing something more. Now, you know, I don't know how to land anywhere but here to begin. Frederick Douglass. Come on, Mother Harriet, help us sister out. Frederick Douglass escaped slavery on September 3rd, 1838, by disguising himself as a black sailor. And he was aided because someone gave him some documents so he could pull it off. And it said that because there were black sailors, they didn't pay that much attention. And of course, they were believing they were all headed in the direction of their orders. And so they didn't pay that much attention. But do you see the brilliance in this? Now, his lady, who he ultimately married, Anna Murray, was a part of that because she made the uniform and adapted it or altered it in ways that all of this could come together. So he traveled by train and ferry from Baltimore, Maryland to New York City. He arrived on September 4th of 1838. So it took him about 24 hours or less than that. And once in New York, he was sheltered by, and we know, David Ruggles, because we've talked about him, an active, a white abolitionist. His escape was financed by his, I'm going to say, fiancée. He later married Anna Murray on September 15th of 1838. So that September was a busy time for him. But look, his story illustrates the consciousness required to truly transform our circumstances. Imagine, if you will, that kind of life change and what is required. It's requiring one to leave everything they've ever known and to make themselves a new person. A new name, a new identity, a new way of being. Can you imagine not responding to your old name? Because it's really ingrained in us, isn't it? And so you know in this time that somebody's going to call out. And that was part of the trick that slave catchers used to catch the formerly enslaved and bring them back into enslavement. Is you call out the name. And so the practice would be to have no reaction whatsoever. No, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. This transformation of our spirit, so complete, so ingrained, that we don't even respond to the old name. You better ask somebody. Yes, yes, so clear that I am new. And in my newness, I don't even respond. So on July 5th, I always think about. This is July 5th of, let me get back because I want to give you the right date for this. It's 1852. July 5th, 1852. Frederick Douglass was a brilliant address in which he really questions, in today's vernacular, it'd be, why y'all call me here? Why y'all call me here to talk about Independence Day as a person who has not experienced that independence? The modicum of independence that I have, I had to snatch. I had to grab, I had to abscond with. What he says in short is part of his, it was an address, a beautiful address. It's worth reading. Today is July 5th, 2026. He spoke these words on July 5th, 1852. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? He says, I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross injustice, the cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. I have to pause here to say, this is the 250th anniversary. This was, when he was speaking, I think was the 70th. It was about the 70th anniversary. And so all of that is the context, but I want you to hear his words today. Today. As if he just spoke them yesterday at the 4th of July celebration. He goes on to say, he says, to him, your celebration is a sham, your boasted liberty an unholy license, your national greatness swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence, your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are now, to him, mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy. A thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. Frederick Douglass, July 5th, 1852. Prophetic, we have work to do. As a nation, we have work to do to be inclusive and to breathe life into our documents. The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, they are words on paper. And brilliant words, if I say so, in my sense. We are called to breathe life into them, or they will continue to be but ink on paper. Yes? Yes. So this, what I'm clear about is that political freedom changes governments, but spiritual freedom changes consciousness. True freedom is not merely political independence, it's spiritual emancipation. We become truly free when we refuse to let yesterday's conditioning dictate today's possibilities. Yes, it's okay to say that in first person. I become truly free as I refuse to let yesterday's conditioning dictate today's possibilities. Yes? So I want to draw from Romans 12:2 just quickly to remind you that it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's this whole brain transformation, this rethinking things, the retraining of our brains, which amounts to change your thinking, change your life. And think about this, that the caterpillar cannot think like a butterfly, and nor does a butterfly think like the caterpillar. So these transformations are real. Yes? This notion of leaving something behind and moving forward in powerful, powerful ways. I can't resist sharing with you, many years ago, when we first began Heart and Soul, I was working on, there are those who say I'm a serial preacher, and so on Wednesday nights at East Bay Church of Religious Science, where I spoke every Wednesday night, and I'm a trainer, if anything, and so it was very much a class. rather than a talk for me. At least that's the way I was holding it. And what I was drawing from was from the Old Testament. And those of you who might have been there wherever you are hearing this now, you know we took our time going through the 40 years through the wilderness. We started by crossing the Red Sea, and then we just took our time, because here's the thing about that trek is I'm going to say that the children of Israel took the long way around. And sometimes this moving from the comfort zone, the familiar, requires that we take the long way. Historians say that the trek would actually take about 30 days. It was about 250 miles, depends on what route. There are a variety of routes, so somewhere between 200 and 500 miles, and that they would have been able to do it as nomadic people in about 30 days or so. But even if we said 60 days, there's nobody who would count 40 years. But what has to happen is the transformation. This notion of moving into the promised land, moving into your vision, into your heart's desire, into, well, even if it's a house, would it be okay if I just use a physical structure as the vision, as the opportunity for somebody? Because what I know is somebody has that on their altar. I'm bringing you good news, no matter how it sounds, though, is there'll be no new house until there's a newness in you. Okay. There'll be no new relationship until there's a newness. We are magnetic beings spiritually. So we must be the mental, emotional, and spiritual equivalent, the magnetic draw to whatever our heart's desire is. Yes? And so this idea is that the Israelites left quickly. The thing happened and we're out of here. And out they were. The Red Sea parted to ensure, and out they were. And then, they got to a point where, you can feel the excitement, can't you? You're like, out. Ooh, come on, Mother Harriet, So I'm out. I'm no longer in that. And then there's a point where Scripture describes how they start turning on each other. We were better off there. Can you imagine? And the stories abound from enslaved people, from a variety of times and places, that they begin to think. And just as I said that, I was thinking about our prison system. Often is set up in a way where that looks like for somebody who's been in it. Their friends are there. It's set up in a way for recidivism, to just draw folks back sometimes if they don't have this clarity of mind, heart, and soul that I'm speaking of. Does this make sense? What I think the Israel children help us to see, if we're willing, is that sometimes our body leaves before our beliefs do. Which is what recidivism, I guess, means. That would be the translation. You end up back where you were because you didn't make up your mind and leave it made up. Somehow we didn't keep our attention on our intention. Yes? Yes. Look, I made this note to myself that, yes, there's a part of the lyric in the Ricky Byers song, I Walk in the Love of God, that Karen and Enrique brought us. That line that says, I won't move until I know that I walk in the love of God. Frederick Douglass offers us this. He said, I prayed for freedom for 20 years, but received no answer until I prayed with my legs. You better ask somebody, church. You better ask somebody. I won't move, I think can translate to I can't move until I know, until my being takes on the awareness that I am guided and guarded, I'm imbued with the wisdom, with the love, with the joy, with the peace, with the know-how, with the whatever it is that we think we're waiting on. And once that moment comes, I know if we were to pass the mic, there are those who could give testimony. There are those who can recall a moment when they knew and they had a renewed strength and a certain clarity to move in the direction of the vision that they'd not been able to harness for maybe Frederick Douglass's 20 years, maybe longer, maybe less. But there's a moment for each of us when it changes for us. Why? Because we've changed. We have changed. So what's calling you? What declaration are you willing, are you prepared to make today? Perhaps you'll declare your independence from scarcity. Let's try some stuff on for size. Say with me, I declare my independence from scarcity. See how that feels. I declare my independence from resentment. Breathe it in. See how that feels. I declare my independence from self-doubt. Oh, that's right on for somebody. I declare my independence from the opinion of others. And then we do one that we just leave as a sentence stem. I declare my independence from, and then you fill it in. Yes? Could I make this a little assignment? A little take home something from the service? Would that be all right? So work with these and see. Yours might not be here. Use it as a sentence stem then. And see what you can do. Because real freedom is not merely escaping what bounds us. It is no longer thinking like someone who is bound. I don't know if you really heard it clearly. Real freedom is not merely escaping, come on, Mother Harriet, what has bound us. It is no longer thinking like someone who is bound. Once you begin to think as a free person, freedom shows up in your life in a number of ways, shapes, and callings. Yeah? All right. So look, in closing, I got to share this story. I should have bet money because I'd be collecting a little something about now. Look. I want to share with you about Flacco, the owl. So Flacco was a beloved Eurasian eagle owl. He was born in captivity in New York and who at age 13 escaped the Central Park Zoo. This was in February of 23. This is after a vandal cut the steel mesh enclosure, and attempts to capture him were unsuccessful. Sometimes they got him, but he got loose. And here's the story they were telling themselves, is that they were afraid because he had only lived in captivity, which means they brought him his meals. He didn't know nothing about going out finding no food. He went over to the corner, he got the food, he ate it, and then he did what he did. He also, because he was in an enclosed space, he had never flown much. He has a huge wingspan, but his enclosure did not offer him an opportunity to fly around it. So there was a lot of hopping going on. But so now he spent a year residing in Central Park, where he untamed himself. They watched him because they were afraid that he would starve. And they didn't want that on his hands, on their hands too. So they had their personnel out there watching it all. But he taught himself to adapt. So when they knew anything, he was successfully hunting rats and navigating the urban environment. He survived against the odds and he thrived in freedom. You know, there's some Flacco in us where we've been held and we have a sense that we can't operate in the ways that may be required to. So I just want to leave you with Flacco in that opportunity to claim more and to affirm. I'm going to invite you to affirm with me. Divine life lives fully within me. Please. Divine life lives fully within me. I declare my independence from limitation. I declare my limitation. Today I walk beyond the limits I once believed were real. I am free. I am whole. I am becoming. And I know this is true because something is calling me to my greatest good. Something is calling me deeper. Come on, bring out the Flacco in you. Deeper than you've ever been before. What keeps calling you, heart and soul? What keeps calling you? What keeps calling you deeper? I'm inviting you to listen. Something is calling you deeper. And so it is.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feel like I'm walking on marble. Can't steal the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling? I can feel my heart begin to pound. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I surrender my life to you. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Love keeps calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith keeps calling me a little bit deeper, deeper, deeper. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. God is calling me a little bit deeper, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.